Yeah! It's Monday.
Good morning, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you are watching this. You might not even be watching it on a Monday, but welcome to Monday Motivation Season 3, Episode 5. Last week, we spoke about a phenomenon known as unconscious blaming. Okay, unconscious blaming is basically where you blame somebody or something, some situation, for all the negative things that has brought you, okay, or they have brought you. If you're going to do that, then you actually need to blame honestly and start blaming them for all the good that thing or that person brought to you in your life as well. I had loads of replies about this from people saying, oh my God, that they were just completely unconscious that they were doing this. They didn't have a clue they were doing it. And they were asking me for other things that they might be doing that they're unaware of. Okay, so for this week, this episode, I'm going to give you guys the top 10 things that I see most commonly occurring in people that keep them miles away from success. Okay, I want you guys to keep a tally as I'm going through these and see how many you are guilty of. If you're guilty of less than 5 of these, okay, you're doing really well. Most people who I do this exercise with will be guilty of at least 6, 7, 8, if not more of those. If you are guilty of all 10, doesn't matter. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, the thing is, the most important thing is that you're aware you are guilty of them so that you can start doing something about them. So I'm going to go through a little bit like Top of the Pops from 10 to 1. Okay, the top 10 things that I see that will always keep people miles away from success unless you start eradicating them from your life right now. That's the aim. If you're guilty of 10 this week, be guilty of 9 next week, be guilty of 8 the week after. Slowly but surely get rid of these things. So here we go, guys, on the countdown, starting with number 10. Procrastination is one of the biggest killers of dreams that I see happening, like literally every day in, day out. People talking about things but not actually doing anything. Okay, it sounds so cliche, guys, but actions speak louder than words. Okay, we know that. The longer that you keep a thought in your head and you don't act on it, so it might be like, I'm gonna write to that casting director tomorrow because I know they're casting such and such and I might be suitable for it. Okay, the longer you keep that as a thought, or I might write to that agent tomorrow or next week or whenever it would be, the longer these thoughts are there and you're not acting on them, okay, the more chance that someone else is out there putting those thoughts into action. Okay, and all they are doing is just whipping that carpet out from under your lazy ass because you're not actually out there doing it. So if you're one of these people, and we're all guilty of this at times, you know, that you talk the talk and you're just not walking the walk, okay, you need to start walking right now. You need to start running, you need to start sprinting and just start putting those words into actions, guys. Okay, you've really got to do that. Procrastination is a massive killer of dreams. Don't fall foul of it. In at number 9, it's simple. You have forgotten that you are mortal. Okay, you are not gonna live forever, guys, but so many people that I meet just act as if they are. They regret the past. They worry so much about the future. They look at now as a struggle, so they don't appreciate now. They feel that they are going to live forever. And all that happens is they do nothing because they're worried so much about the future. And it sounds horrible, but they get to the end of their life and they die. And they have never lived. Okay, so you need to appreciate that. Okay, it's not like a really morbid kind of thought, but you're not going to be here forever. And trust me, the older I get, the faster time goes by. Okay, so you are mortal. Remember that. It's actually an empowering thing to remember. It's not disempowering to know that actually, you know, you're not going to be around forever. So just remember that, and that will mean that consequences for things just seem a little bit less. So what if whatever you're going to try and do doesn't work out? You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to be here forever anyway. So go out there and do what you want to do right now whilst you have the chance. In at number 8 is you listen too often to stupid advice. And I'm not talking about the advice that I'm giving you. I guarantee you this is not stupid advice, okay? But so many of us, if we're not careful, can be talked out of things by other people who aren't qualified to actually talk us out of it. So you might say something like, you know what, I'm gonna write my own sitcom, and someone else will go, oh yeah, well I tried that once, it's really hard, oh you're too young to do that, or you're too old to do that, or that'll never work, or this is just too difficult, or whatever. Or you might say, I'm gonna put a play on at this you know, at this theatre, oh well I applied for that and they wouldn't let me do it, all this sort of stuff. And you're like, actually, you know what, are you qualified to even give me that advice? Okay, just because it's not worked for you doesn't mean it's not going to work for me. Okay, so you need to start kind of trusting yourself, having more belief in yourself, you know, and stop taking advice from, I don't want to say idiots, but sometimes just idiots who really don't want to see you succeed, because this is another thing as well, okay? In this industry and in all walks of life, okay, we don't, sometimes if we're not succeeding, we don't like to see other people succeeding, because it actually reinforces the fact that we're not succeeding. It makes people feel bad, okay? So just be aware of people who try and talk you out of doing things almost like it's for your own good, okay? How about you go, try that thing, and then you make up your own mind, okay? Don't let other people talk you out of stuff just because it's not worked for them. Just maybe they don't want to see it work for you. Just think about that. At 7, it's something that we spoke about 3 weeks ago in Monday Motivation. Okay, your colleagues, your friends, your acquaintance, whoever it is that you spend the most time with, suck. They're dragging you down. Okay, Jim Rohn, we mentioned this, Jim Rohn, awesome guy, said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Just think about who those 5 people are, okay? What do those 5 people do for you spiritually, mentally, physically, financially? You know, do they inspire you, or do they sap the life out of you? Sometimes, and this might sound harsh, okay, but sometimes, guys, we just outgrow our friends and our peers. And it doesn't mean we ditch them and we never speak to them, we don't hang out with them. It just means sometimes we need to think about where we can meet people who are more successful than us. If you're the most successful person in the room, remember, you are in the wrong room. So where can you go to source more successful people, people who will inspire you and will lift you up, people who won't just drag you down or keep you down? Because like I said a minute ago, sometimes people don't want to see you grow because it just reinforces their insecurities and the fact that they're not succeeding, okay? So you need to surround yourself with top quality people in order to succeed. So if you've not got top quality people in your life right now, go and find some. There's loads. At number 6, I have got for you the fact that your motivation is not compelling enough, guys. And I mean as in your story, okay? Why you want to be successful. And you need to be specific. Why you? What is it that you want to get out of life? What will it do for you? More importantly, what will it do for the people around you? Who do you want to do it for? Is it just for you? Is it for your partner, your family, your children? You know, what is that picture going to look like once you have achieved that thing that it is that you want to achieve? What's it going to bring to your life and all those other people around you? This picture and this motivation needs to be so vivid, okay? And you need to remind yourself of this all the time. You know, some people get a vision board, you know, and they will get a board in their room and they will put cutouts of sort of like the style of the house that they want, or the car, or the job, or that kind of thing, so that every day when they look at that, they're reminded of it. So when times get hard, that motivation is so compelling that they can pick themselves up and they can keep going. So I ask you, what is your motivation? Sounds quite actorish, that, doesn't it? What's my motivation for this scene? But what's your motivation for life? Forget motivation for just a scene. What is your motivation for life? Why do you want it, and who do you want it for? Is it compelling enough? Halfway through with number 5, if your motivation is compelling enough, then is your belief strong enough? We've spoken about limiting beliefs before, guys, and whether you truly, utterly believe that you can succeed. A lot of people go into the acting game kind of wanting to get to the top, but not really truly, utterly believing that they can, because of some self-limiting belief that might have been instilled in them when they were a kid. They were told something, they weren't amount to anything, or they were told an acting class, oh, well, you know, you might do a couple of lines, but you'll never do more than that, or whatever. And even though they grow and they take more acting classes and they get better and better and better, because someone told them that such a long time ago, it stays with them forever. Remember the story I told you in a previous season Monday Motivation? If you saw it, about training elephants. They only need to put baby elephants on poles that are like this high out of the ground, because baby elephant can't drag himself away from it, and that's how they restrain them. Because the baby elephant eventually gives up and realizes when it's on that pole it can't escape, even when the elephant has grown 20 years later and it is massive, full size, you know, African elephant, could tear down a house, they still only need to put that elephant on that pole that's this big, because in the elephant's head it's given up. It goes, when I'm on that pole, I can't move. And it doesn't realise that it's grown so much, and it's a completely different creature now. It could rip the pole out of the ground, but because of the limiting belief that was put into that elephant's head 20 years ago, it doesn't even try. So what limiting beliefs are you holding? Is your belief strong enough? And seriously, ask yourself this question now. Do you really, really, really believe that you will make it? The fourth most common reason people don't succeed is that they are in a bad place and they resign themselves to that place forever. Now, this might be a job that you're currently in that you don't think you can get out of in order to chase your acting career. It might be a relationship, someone who's dragging you down, who is negative, and you just don't think that you can get yourself out of that. Whatever it is and whatever situation you are in that is bad, if it is not serving you and the people around you, you need to get out of that situation. Don't just give up and resign yourself to that, okay? The environment that you put yourself in is so important. It can absolutely hugely influence the way you think, act, and feel, okay? And if you are not in a positive environment surrounded by positive people, then you don't stand much chance of living a positive and successful life. So if you are in a bad place right now, start looking at ways that you can climb out of that and start getting yourself into a much more positive place to be, live, work, and succeed. Number 3, you have not learnt yet just how negative and what an awful feeling regret is, particularly in later life. Now, I'm very fortunate, okay? I mean, I have regrets. Of course, everybody in life has regrets. But I'm at an age now where, you know, I can look back on my 20s and go, oh, you know what, I regret not knowing that when I was 24, or, you know, I wish I'd have known that, I'd have done this differently, I should have gone for that kind of thing. I'm only in my 30s now, so I'm at that point where I can learn from those mistakes and I can make sure I never make them again. Okay, you don't want to get to later life, and this is just from the perspective of people that I've spoken to. I say I've not experienced this myself yet, and I know I don't want to. But you don't want to get to later life and go, you know what, I never tried. I wish I'd have done that. What would have happened to my life if I'd have just tried that or just gone for that, you know, and actually kind of regret never chasing your dreams. Regret as a human being is probably the worst emotion that we can feel. It's something that none of us want in our lives. And as I say, you know, we're all gonna have a few regrets, but you don't want to have that big regret where you go, you know what, I never actually used the precious life that I have on this planet to do what I wanted to do. I always just did that thing to please other people. I did that safe thing. I never went for that business opportunity. I never, you know, did this, that, whatever that thing that is. I never chased my dreams. So appreciate that you are going to feel far worse and regret in later life. Okay, you're going to really regret the things that you didn't do far more than the things that you did do. So just go out there and do them now. We're now at number 2. Okay, the second most common reason why people stay miles away from success is they are not persistent enough in actually working towards their dreams. Okay, I'm going to put a graphic up on the screen to illustrate this now. I have seen personally, right, I've seen it on quite a few occasions where people will write on Facebook or they'll write on the forums on Act On This that they have had enough. They are going to give up and walk away from the acting industry. They can't take the rejection. They just can't do it anymore. Okay, have a look at this graphic. People very often walk away from their dreams when they are just about to hit massive success. I have seen this, seriously, personally, with a friend of mine who left the acting industry, turned their back on the industry, didn't want anything more to do with it. Very luckily, their agent actually still kept them in the loop about an audition that they then went to, you know, to audition, went to try out for. They landed this role and it was a massive role. I mean, seriously, it was life-changing. So it ultimately, you know, turned her life around. You know, it was worth a lot of money. It was on a huge TV show, and now she's back in the acting industry. Before that, she turned her back on it completely and had given up. Okay, so it just shows you so many people give up just before they're about to hit the big time. Don't be one of those people. Okay, persevere. The longer you persist, the more people won't persist and they'll just fall by the wayside, which means that you stand more of a chance of getting work the longer you hang in there. So hang in there, be strong, you know, and give yourself that opportunity to have success. Don't turn your back just before you get it. So what's the number 1 reason people stay miles away from success? Well, I'm gonna harp on about this again for the 3rd week on the run, and then I'm gonna say no more about it. Okay guys, this is very simple. You simply forgot to be happy. Okay, I've spoken about this for the last 2 weeks about being grateful for what you have now and enjoying the journey. Okay, the journey toward a successful career, success, whatever that is for you, is a long one. Okay, if you can't enjoy the scenery along the way, then you need to probably change the road that you are on, you know, change the route that you are going down accordingly. You really need to start enjoying, and this is the key word, guys. It's just enjoy. I'm not saying settle, I'm not saying be happy with, you know, strive for everything that you want to get, but if you can't enjoy the things that you have in your life right now, you will never ever be able to enjoy those things that you get further down the line. So just don't forget to be happy. Don't forget to enjoy the journey. Don't rush it, okay? As long as you are persevering, you know, you're persisting, you're carrying on, and you're working towards your goals and your dreams, then that's all you can do. Enjoy the ride. Don't forget to be happy. So that is the message for this week, guys. You know, just be happy and enjoy what you have around you. Okay, we did that thing a couple of weeks ago all about gratitude, making notes every day, at least 3 things that we are grateful for. Continue to do that if you find this difficult, just to remind you, you know, of all the amazing things that you have got in your life. So there you go. They are the top 10 reasons people generally stay miles away from success. So if you say I'm guilty of all 10 of them, don't worry about it. Okay, go back through the video, just give yourself a little reminder of what each of those things are, and aim to only be guilty of 9 of them next week. You know, like I say, if you're guilty of less than 5 of these, you're doing an amazing job already, and these are things you probably weren't even aware of. Now you're aware, you can probably wipe out, you know, there's other 3 or 4 things that might be holding you back. If you have enjoyed this video, guys, okay, please share it, you know, spread the word on Facebook, tweet it, give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down on YouTube, I don't care, you know, just give me some feedback. Please leave a comment if you are on the blog at actonthis.tv. Next week we will have the very last episode of Monday Motivation Season 3. I'm not going to tell you what it's about yet, because to be honest, it could be one of 3 or 4 things that I'm thinking of. Okay, but I promise you that it will be very valuable, so please join me next Monday or anytime next week. You don't have to watch these on a Monday, but please join me at some point to sum up this season. After this season, we've got something very special on the way that I will talk to you about next time as well. So please spread the word, follow us. It's at actonthistv. Me personally, it's at Ross A. Grant. Yeah, at Ross A. Grant. Please tweet me your thoughts. Go out there, have an amazing week this week, and just bear in mind these 10 things, okay? Try and eradicate as many of them as you can. Until next time, guys, bye for now.
It's Monday.
Yeah.